Welcome back, everybody. Welcome episode 32 of the Big Easy Blitz podcast. I'm pumped for this episode. College football's here. The air's still unbelievably hot, but it's in the air. You can feel it. Fall camp starting, end of July, early August. Christmas is basically around the corner.
Yeah,
But
basically.
yeah, pretty much. So for today on the agenda, we have me and Connor's college football playoff prediction. We're gonna go seed by seed.
Yeah.
Um, Couple questionable takes. You'll have to see them you have to watch the whole thing. And then after that, we're going to go through our awards. So we have the Heisman, we have the Bolitnikoff, which is the best receiver, the Jim Thorpe, which is the best DB, and then
Old Jim
coach of,
Thorpe.
Jim Thorpe, and then coach of the year. Well, that's pretty self-explanatory. And then after that, we're going to give our champion, which it pained me. I'm just going to say it right now. I don't have LSU as my champion, which pained me to do, but I am a little realistic. Okay. Do I think they're capable? Absolutely. Do I think they're going to win? No, I'm not going to pick that, and I hope I'm wrong. So I'll let Connor say a few words before we get kick it off here, because I'm ready. I'm pumped up.
Yeah. Brock mentioned that college football is almost here, and then also the NFL is almost here as you have training camp starting. We got Saints players getting into fights already. I believe it was Brandon Cooks and Alontae Taylor, maybe.
It was Brandon Cooks and Quincy Riley from Louisville, the
Okay.
rookie.
Well, I might have saw wrong report then. But um But yeah, I we're gonna get into some more college football today. And like Brock said, just because we don't like I don't have LSU winning, just because we don't have LSU winning does not mean we don't think LSU can win. Obviously, we both think LSU is capable of winning. Uh, the amount of talent they have this year is 100% overqualified to win the national championship. But before we get started, tell a friend to like, follow, subscribe, do all that stuff on all socials: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, at Big Easy Blitz. Yeah, oh yeah, count them off, Brock. But
Huge shout out to Will Helmers, who in the span of 2 days, we have grown in our eyes substantially. I think we have like 25 more followers from that video. Um, Crazy. Every time I check my phone, it feels like we gain a follower, which is crazy. Keep them coming. We don't hate it. We love it, actually. If you don't follow us, you
we
don't
love
like
it.
it, it's
We
okay.
love it.
It's okay. We still love you if you don't like us. I feel like we're pretty likable guys, not to toot our own horn. But yeah, that's enough about us. Let's just jump right into it. We're gonna start with a little breakdown of the playoff for those who missed it. They're not doing the top four conference winners as like the automatic buys. They're just doing a regular seeding. But or I guess the top five conference winners, they get an automatic bid to the playoff, but they
Yep.
don't get automatic buys. So just getting that out of the way, we're going to start with our conference winners, and then we'll get into our other teams that get in, and then we'll seed them all. And then after that, I think both of us have a couple of teams like dark horses, kind of outside looking in teams.
Yep.
So with that, we'll start with the ACC winner. I feel like we'll be on the same page here. I have Clemson winning the ACC pretty easily. I don't
Yeah,
know what you,
I
yeah,
too have Clemson. I think Miami will be pretty good this year, but I don't think they're going to be good enough to beat Clemson.
yeah. I mean, Carson Beck is a fraud. Just plain and
Yeah,
simple. I don't think he's very good. He wasn't good at Georgia with the best roster in the country. I don't think he'll be good at Miami.
exactly.
Clemson, I'm just going to be as an LSU fan. I'm kind of terrified for that week 1 game.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
100%.
I think they're returning the most, not I think, I know they're returning the most production of any team in the country with obviously Clay Klubnik and some of their receiving core is loaded. The defensive line, they have like two defensive linemen that are highly rated in the draft
Mhm.
coming up. It's going to be a tall task for LSU in the fake Death Valley. Or as
100.
Brian Kelly said, Death Valley Jr. I don't know if you saw that. That was kind
Death
of
Valley Jr.
some internet rumblings already. I love the trash talk, but they better back it up.
Yeah, it's going to be electric that first
Oh
game,
yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah. All right. All right. So we'll skip we'll go SEC next just to knock that out. I'm gonna go boring old Georgia. That's kind of boring. I wanted to take LSU. I had Georgia beating LSU in the SEC championship. But I mean Georgia's been there. It feels like the last 10 years, and they just continue to win. It's pretty much a de facto home game for them in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah.
Um, I mean. Yeah, I'm a little boring on this one. I'm curious to see who you have. Um, other than like I would admit, definitely not Texas. We saw that from the
Oh
last
yeah,
video.
no, I definitely don't have
Uh,
Texas. I have Georgia too.
yeah.
I feel like if LSU and Georgia were to meet up in the SEC championship, I think LSU would definitely give them a run for their money.
Hmm.
But you know, all
Yeah.
reliable Georgia.
Hey Kirby, we didn't forget when you dropped 50 on us when all of our starters were pulled. Okay, we didn't forget when you went for two when the game was over.
Yikes!
So you better pray that the boys from the boot don't come and return that favor. I don't know if that made my mic louder. I hope it
It did
did.
not at
Uh,
all. That's all right. I appreciate it though. I appreciate it.
so yeah, just we don't forget that was Garrett Nussmeyer's first game, and then Kirby decided to go for two to drop 50.
Mhm.
We've kept receipts. Moving on, Big 12 winner, which is going to shock some people, both my pick and Connor's pick.
Oh yeah.
And I'll let Connor go first because my pick, I want to talk a little bit more on him.
I
But
have the Cyclones from Iowa State, led by Matt Campbell and Rocco Becht. I look, I'm high on Iowa State this year. Matt Campbell's always going to have a good defense. He
Mhm.
recruits well. The people want to play. The kids want to play for him. And I mean, Rocco Becht has experience, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see who comes out of the Big 12.
For sure. My pick, who I think is a very sneaky team to make a deep run in the playoff this year, the Arizona State Sun Devils. Now, they were there last year, so that's an upside for them. They've already had that experience. They're having a returning quarterback who I think is going to be a Heisman finalist. You'll see that later.
Yeah,
They have one of the best wide receivers in the country who could be a Biletnikoff winner. That's in Jordan Tyson. He's a stud. He was hurt last year for the playoff game. That's why some people might not know who that is. They might be some people might be saying, "Oh, Cam Scadable's gone." The guy behind him is just as good, if not better. He's speed, probably not better, but he's speedier. He's faster. He's good. He played a little bit in the game when Scadable almost like died when he threw up on
The Texas game.
yeah. Um, yeah,
That
but
was
their
one of the best
coach.
football games I've
Oh
ever
my God.
watched.
Oh, it
I was
started off terrible.
raging, but
Oh
because I
yeah.
wanted Arizona State, but
It started off pretty terrible, but oh my God, did it deliver at the end.
oh wow, yeah,
Um so yeah, I think Arizona State has a real chance to go deep in this playoff.
for sure.
Especially I mean they're one of the few teams this year with a proven returning quarterback, which I think is gonna matter with a lot of these teams. Yeah, I mean that's it on Arizona State. I think they can be really, really good. And I have another Big 12 team in my playoff that I'll get into later. And no, it is not the Iowa State Cyclones.
Oh, come on, I was really
Sorry,
hoping it would
Connor.
be the
Sorry,
Cyclones.
Connor. I don't think they're gonna be. I think they're losing too much. I know they lost some.
Yeah, they
They
lost
lost.
some good receivers and
Yeah,
DBs,
we'll
but
see. I mean,
we'll
nobody
see.
thought Indiana would be good last year. Just plain and simple.
Exactly.
So yeah, moving on. The Big Ten. I think we both can fly through this one. I think it's pretty obvious. It's the
Yeah.
Ohio State Buckeyes. They are an absolute juggernaut. They returning a lot except for their
I feel like
quarterback.
Penn State could have something to say about that for
I
sure.
do, yes, I do
But
have Ohio State beating Penn State this year, and I have Ohio State beating Michigan for like the
yeah,
first time in 5 years.
but yeah, like I just looked through the schedule. I think Ohio State will win the Big Ten. I
Yeah,
think Penn State plays Oregon too, so that's going to be
I
a
think
tough
so.
game.
I know Penn State has like they avoid I think it's Michigan and Ohio State or so like they have a relatively easy schedule
Yeah,
in the
but
Big
I
Ten.
think Ohio State's still going to take the Big Ten.
Yeah, for sure. So moving on to our group of five slash other, I have two that I think could get in, and that is if you watched our episode where we broke down the SEC records, you'll know that this was coming. When I talked about Ole Miss losing to the boys from the Uptown, Tulane. I have Tulane getting in this year. They have a manageable schedule now. All respect to Tulane, their non-conference schedule is pretty tough. I'm not gonna lie. When I looked it up, they play Northwestern, who's not that good, just plain simple, but they
Yeah.
are a Power 14. Ole Miss, and then they play somebody else. I can't think of it on top of my head. That's on me. I actually have it right here. If you bear with me for 2 seconds. There we go. So they open the season with Northwestern, and then week two they play South Alabama. Oh, Duke, that's who it was. So
Oh yeah.
their former quarterback gets to come home and play in his former stadium. That should be fun to watch. And then my other team is UNLV. They're
Really?
really
Okay.
yes. They were really good last year. They had some NIL issues with their quarterback, but I think they moved past him. They moved past him last year, and they darn near, I mean, made the playoff last year. They kind of scuffled at the end. I
Mhm.
think they have a real chance to. make the playoff this year, and I also just didn't want to be boring and pick Boise State.
Yeah,
That's pretty much
I
the
respect it.
whole thing.
You went a different route in the
Yeah.
Mountain West. I also have the boys from Uptown Tulane. I mean, even before getting Jake Retzloff in the portal, I thought they were going to be a really solid team.
Mhm.
And now with him, I mean, I I'd honestly say Tulane's the favorite right now to get
Yeah,
that
for sure.
spot. And then my sleeper team, I have the Toledo Rockets.
There we
If you
go.
watched our episode, I don't know when it was, maybe a week ago.
Something
Um,
like that.
I
Yeah.
mentioned the Toledo Rockets
That was
towards.
Monday. It was Monday. It was on Monday episode.
Okay, it was on Monday, so not even a week ago. But look, Toledo has always been a team you see playing in a high quality bowl game, even
Mhm.
as a smaller team from the MAC. Um, I mean, they're definitely going to get their fair share of wins. I mean, the MAC is not strong this year. So I mean, who knows? We could be seeing a Toledo 12 and 0 with an SEC win on their schedule. Um, and who knows? Maybe Toledo sneaks into that 12 spot, but
Mhm.
we'll
You
see.
never know. You never
I'm
know.
rooting for Tulane, but Toledo would
Yeah.
definitely be cool.
I think I mentioned this when we talked about the schedule, but look, watch out for Ty Thompson, a tight end. People are underestimating him. I think he's
Former five-star QB Ty Thompson.
turned tight end. He is a monster, by the way. I'm looking up right. I'm pretty sure he's like 6'6". I could be completely wrong on that.
I
I
think you're
have
right. I
it.
think he's a beast.
Yeah, he is. Hold on, just give me a second. He is okay. Never mind. 6'4", 225.
Still a
Still
beast.
massive at tight end. I think Tulane could be really really good this year. Their wide receiver core is one to look out for. By the way, they have a very underrated wide receiver core.
Yeah, didn't they get
Um,
didn't they get a guy from Oregon, I want to say?
I don't know about that, but I know they got a guy from Bama, and Shaz Preston.
That might be one thing.
Uh,
Oh, they lost Makai Hughes to Oregon. That's what it was.
Yeah, yeah. And they lost their tight end. They lost their starting tight end to Miami. So
Yeah.
a lot of people might be counting them out because they lost their two best players. But don't overlook those guys.
I really wish Makai Hughes would have stuck it out at Tulane, man.
Yeah, I mean, but we're in the age of NIL.
Loyalty is non-existent.
Yeah, there's no such thing. Yeah, I mean, the Garrett Nussmeyers of the world, the K Klubniks, those guys don't come around all the time, but they stick it out. But moving on, so now we're going to get into our at-large teams, who we think that is going to fill out the rest of the bracket. I'll start with, I mean, this was obvious. I'm wearing a LSU shirt and hat. I had LSU making the playoff. I'll get into their seeding when we get into that. Not much. We'll get into actually. Let's just list our teams and then we'll talk about when we seed them
All right.
to go quicker. So I have LSU, South Carolina, Texas, Notre Dame, Penn State, Oregon, and the Baylor Bears. I had Baylor
Okay, I
making it
like
this
that.
year. They're returning their quarterback. They're returning a stud receiver. Watch out for Baylor. They were good last year in that bowl
Well
game against
coached.
LSU. Very well coached. If
Mhm.
you remember last year, LSU, that was a good game. That was a good bowl game. A couple they had one pick six that really skewed the score, but I think Baylor could get in this year, especially in a weak Big 12.
Yeah, I like that. I really do like that. I have Notre Dame. I have Penn State, Oregon, LSU, Alabama, South Carolina, and Michigan, led by Bryce
Mm,
Underwood.
yeah. I guess I'm just a little salty about that. I just don't want to.
100%. I mean, talk about loyalty. The dude, like, literally didn't even step foot on campus. And
Yeah,
I that,
you can't blame the guy. He got $12 million to
no,
play
I mean,
college
you
football.
can't, but like, calling college athletes is
Yeah,
absurd. Because, I mean, they're basically professionals at this
yeah,
point with $12 million being thrown your way
yeah.
to go play football for a school.
Yeah,
I mean,
the word commitment should be erased now because it's not a
there's
commit.
no
You're not
point in
committing
it.
anywhere.
Mhm.
I'm gonna attend. I'm attending this school next year. That should be the new thing.
Yeah,
But it's just yeah. Part of me wants Michigan to suck just because of all that, but I'm hearing
right.
that they're going to be really really good.
Me too.
So as long as LSU doesn't have to play Bryce Underwood, I'll be fine. And shout out to two former Blue Jays, Jacob Washington and Jasper Parker, over
Yeah.
there in Ann Arbor. Hope go ball out this year, guys. Yeah, enough of that. So now we'll get into our seeding. Would you want to start 12-1 or 1-2?
Let's go
Let's
to,
go. Yeah,
yeah, 12-1.
12-1. So my 12 seed is going to be obviously the group of five team. It's either Tulane or UNLV. Whoever wins, like whoever's better is going to get that 12 seed. I don't really see them getting anything higher. Boise State was kind of an anomaly just because Clemson was 8-4 and they won the ACC. That's why they
Yep.
just got the 12 seed. Not much else to say on that. The 11th seed, I have South Carolina because I think they go 9-3, and that's just not going to be enough to get higher than that. I have South Carolina actually beating out Alabama for that spot because I think South Carolina beats Alabama in the regular season.
Okay.
My 10 seed is the aforementioned Baylor Bears. Like I said, I think them and Arizona State, I think they both have very, very good years. Possibly both teams win double-digit games just because the Big 12 is not that good. Enough said on that. Penn State is my 9 seed. Notre Dame is my 8 seed. Oregon with Dante Moore as my 7 seed. Dante Moore, who was at Oregon and then transferred to UCLA and is now back at Oregon. LSU is my 6 seed. Texas is my 5 seed. And then I know I said like the conference winners don't get the top 4 seeds, but I have all 4 conference winners as my top 4 seeds. I have Georgia as my 4 seed, Arizona State at my 3 seed, Ohio State
Whoa.
is my 2 seed, and Clemson is the 1 seed, going 12-0 this year.
Okay. Wow.
Told you it would be a little shaky today.
I like that. I like it. I have my Big 12 champion, not certainly not at number three. So my ranking, I have Tulane at number 12, whether that be Tulane or Toledo. Now at 11, I have my Big 12 champion, Iowa State Cyclones. Then at 10, I have Michigan led by Bryce Underwood. Nine, I have South Carolina, and then eight, I have Alabama. I have Alabama beating South Carolina in their game, so that's the only reason I have Bama ahead of South Carolina. It could flip flop if South Carolina wins that game.
Yeah.
Seven, I have LSU. Six, I have Oregon. Five, I have Penn State with Drew Aller. Four, I have Notre Dame. Three, I have Georgia. Two, I have Ohio State, and then at number one, I have Clemson.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're both on the same page. We both think Clemson's going 12-0 this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Clemson's going to be rock solid this year.
Maybe I could see 11-1 with a loss to South Carolina just because it's a rivalry game. You never know.
Yeah, they definitely
Uh,
have a few tough games. I mean, obviously starting off with LSU is
yeah.
not easy,
Yeah.
you know.
For sure. For sure. What was I going to? Oh, so now we're going to get into some of our, yeah, now we're getting into some of our dark horses. So what I wrote down is dark horses slash committee lovers.
Yeah.
That would be obviously the top of the committee lovers list is Alabama if they're close. Although I thought they were going to get in last year, but they didn't, which I'm glad the committee
Yeah.
did that. But I don't think it happens 2 years in a row. I think Nick Saban got on the phone and got that handled. So my dark horse slash committee lover is Bama, Florida, Texas Tech, who had a very, very strong transfer portal
I
class.
saw
They
that.
were
They were
throwing
dishing
around
out
money.
all kind of money.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Especially in the Big 12, they could be definitely another team that
Oh yeah.
competes. Georgia Tech, they were very good last year. They almost beat Georgia, and they're having people are coming back. The only thing I kept them out completely was because they lost Nick Singleton or Eric Singleton. Sorry, Eric Singleton to Auburn,
Mhm.
which is a huge loss. But they have another receiver who's really, really good. I'm blanking on his name right now. I've been playing college football 26. That's why I know that. Kansas State, which I think Connor mentioned before the pod. I don't know if you
Yeah, I
mentioned
mentioned
it.
that
Yeah.
off camera.
Michigan, like you said, and then hear me out on this one. This is probably gonna be a very extremely hot take, but I have Florida State. Now, let me explain myself before you react. If Florida State goes into the Alabama game and they keep it close, I think they will have confidence throughout the rest of the season, and they will be able to play like ride that throughout the season. However, if they get blown out, which I fully expect them to do, I think they could just going to completely shut down, and they're just going to go back to last year, probably 6-6, 7-5. Um, but if they keep it close and maybe only lose by a touchdown or two, I think that could be give them momentum going on into the season because I don't think they play Clemson this year, if I'm not mistaken. I'm like almost 99% sure they don't play Clemson. Uh, Looking it up right
There's a
now.
billion teams in the ACC now,
Oh
so
yeah, I mean Stanford's in the ACC right now, and
and Cal.
Stanford's in like okay, never mind. They do play Florida State. I mean, they do play Clemson. So,
Yikes.
I might be eating my own words here, but I do think that if they keep it close against Bama, maybe pull out a win against Clemson, which I don't think is possible because they're playing at Clemson, that they could maybe sneak in at the end, depending on how everybody else does with some of these SEC teams that are going to play each other and knock each other out.
Yeah.
Something to look out for. Other than that, they have a really, really easy schedule in the ACC. They play Stanford, Wake Forest, Virginia Tech, who I don't think is very good, Virginia, who's not very good, Miami, who's pretty overrated. Their three toughest games are Bama, Clemson, and Florida. So if they can just go 1-2 in those games and go 10-2, you could definitely see them getting to the playoff.
100%. Yeah.
The only problem is the Bama game is Bama, and then the other two are on the road. So that's going to be a very tall task for Florida State. I think they have a legitimate chance to get in if they go if they're looking at the schedule now. If they go 10-2, could easily see them getting in over a team like Baylor, just because they would have a tougher schedule than Baylor. But you never know. That was my hot take. That's my absolute
I
dark
like
horse.
it.
I put a star next to him, if you can see right there, because just we'll
Yep, you
see.
got it. I mean, look, if they can go 1-2 in those three games you mentioned and don't get embarrassed in the losses,
Hmm.
I mean, like you read their schedule, it's a cakewalk.
Yeah,
So I mean,
exactly.
you're right. I mean, as even if Florida State like went 2-10 last year, I guess there's a chance they could turn it around. I like the ambition you have for the Seminoles this year. Do I think it's going to happen? Absolutely not, just because of the train wreck that it was last
That's
year.
fair.
But I
Yeah.
like the thought. I really do like the thought. I like what you're on to, Brock.
Thank you. Thank you.
So for I have written down honorable mentions. I have Oklahoma. If you watch that episode, I have Oklahoma going 9-3. I think Oklahoma's going to be solid this year, and obviously playing in the SEC, they're going to have some big wins on that schedule. Similarly, I have Florida next, led by DJ Lagway. I think I also had Florida 9-3. I'm like 99% sure I had Florida 9-3. Um, literally like copy and paste with Oklahoma. They're gonna have big wins. Um, I think Florida's gonna wind up being even better than Oklahoma, but I think that both of those teams have similar season outlooks. Um, then I have ASU, who you have as your number three seed. Shout out my cousin. My cousin Hayes goes to ASU, so I'll shout him out. He listens. Um, I
Shout
mean,
out.
yeah, I know they're returning Sam Levitt, and obviously he's going to be a beast this year. Like you said, he's one of few returning quarterbacks with all that experience under his belt. Um, so yeah, ASU 100% could win the Big 12, and if not, get an at-large bid. Next, I have Toledo. I talked enough about the Rockets. I don't think I need to talk about a team from the MAC any more than I already have. No disrespect, of course, to the mid majors. I love mid majors. Then finally, I have Auburn. Shout out Gianni and Brad. I feel like we shout
Yep.
y'all out damn near every pod. But look, I feel like if Hugh Freeze and Jackson Arnold can put it together, they're 100% a dark horse.
Yeah. It's just I don't think they'll be able to put it together. Because I don't think Jackson Arnold's a very good player. No disrespect. But
No
before we get
disrespect,
into
I just think you're bad.
yeah, yeah, you kind of said that. Yeah. So before we move on to our awards, I want to get back into Florida State a little bit. A lot of people might be wondering like who was even on their team because they're not that good. So they obviously have Thomas Castellanos at quarterback. He was the guy from Boston College who actually upset Florida State last year. We thought it was an upset. Um,
Upset Florida State.
well, that was when they were
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
very,
No,
yeah, 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 yeah.
all
They
right.
were a top 10 team at the moment.
Uh-huh.
So he's there. He's I think he's very solid. I mean, he got benched at Boston College, but that's probably that was last year.
Yeah.
Um, their
Say the
running
same thing
back.
about Jackson Arnold.
Hey, he didn't get benched. Moving on. So they have a very underrated running back who went to Alabama and he transferred in this past year, and that is Roydell Williams. I think all LSU fans have probably heard that name before. Um, he's very, very solid, very underrated, 5'10", 220. So he is a
Tank.
rock.
Yeah.
He's an absolute tank. He's very good. He got a lot of speed. Like I said, I've been playing college football 26. He's very good. Florida State's very good on the game, by the way. Let me just say
Really?
that.
Okay.
Shout out Brad, who loves Florida State in the game. Moving on to the wide receiver core, they had two guys that LSU fans should probably be very familiar with, and that is Deuce Robinson, who transferred in from USC. Obviously remember him from last year. If I'm not mistaken, he made that catch, the one-handed acrobatic catch against
One of the
LSU.
greatest catches I've ever seen.
Yeah,
But
I don't remember if that was him or not, but I'm almost positive it was. This guy is 6'6", 225. That would probably be Castellanos' favorite target, if I had to guess. And then the other guy, who some people might remember, Squirrel White from
oh yeah,
Tennessee.
sure, Squirrel White
He transferred into Florida State. He is 5'10" and
from
can absolutely
Tennessee.
fly. He was at Tennessee.
Look at
He's
me.
five. Look, yeah, there we go. 5'10", 170, and he can absolutely fly. So he's going to be the deep threat for Florida State that they need. I think they have the pieces to put together a pretty good season. Going through it, we don't need to go around the defense. I mean, Florida State, I feel like their defense is usually pretty solid. Um,
Throughout our
uh,
pod, there are definitely some takes that we could clip maybe like 6 months from now that could be absolutely legendary. Now they could
oh yeah,
also
oh my God.
fall flat on their face, but they could be absolutely legendary.
Oh,
Like
I'm
I
telling you
remember when
right
I said
now.
Brent Rooker was going to win the home run derby.
It almost happened. I mean, you were
Al-
very close, very, very close.
He almost beat
He
Cal Raleigh.
lost. He lost by like 2 inches.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, rest assured right now to everybody watching, if Florida State makes the playoffs come January,
we're clipping
you
this.
will 100% see this again.
And if
Now,
Iowa State wins the Big 12, you're 100% seeing this again. So,
now on the same token, if Florida State falls flat on their face, we will also see this and we will also post it, and everybody can clown me. I'll take it. I don't. I've already been clowned enough in the comments. If you see our
oh yeah, we
videos,
both are. It's all right.
it's friendly fire though. I know who's doing it. We have a self-proclaimed LSU super fan who every time I have a take about LSU just disagrees wholeheartedly. But we're not going to keep talking about that. We're going to move on to everyone's probably anticipated part, the awards,
Mhm.
who I think is a very, very, very hot commodity. I don't know what that means. I kind of just said that because it sounded cool. We're gonna do the Bolitnikoff and Jim Thorpe first. We'll do the Heisman last,
Yeah,
and then we'll say our champion. Um, so my Bolitnikoff winner is uh Jeremiah Smith. Right. Yeah,
I
yeah.
also have
Big,
Jeremiah Smith, so I'll just
big
let you
surprise.
elaborate on this.
Yeah, I mean, this dude's unbelievable. He would have been a first rounder last year if he could have gotten drafted as a freshman, and he's just scared and know that that guy has 2 more years in college. Could very well be a Heisman winner, not this year, but next year when some of these quarterbacks leave. This dude's unbelievable. I mean, not much else to say. We all saw it last year against Notre Dame and Tennessee and every other game that he played in. And then I don't know if Connor did finalists. I did finalists. I'm just gonna say two of them, and that is obviously Ryan Williams. He's definitely going to be a finalist. I mean, he's good. Plain simple, kind of similar to Jeremiah Smith, freshman last year. He's got 2 more years in college football, which is crazy. And then Jordan Tyson from Arizona State, who I mentioned, is a very, very good receiver. Nobody really knows who that is because he was hurt last year in the playoff game, and I don't think anybody watched Arizona State football
I remember they
other than the
kept
playoff.
panning to him.
Kept
Like,
painting to him on the sideline, and just like they were saying, like I'm pretty sure they said that he could have played though. I don't know what was going on with him, but he's very, very good. Look out for him this year. And then I mean, my last one was Evan Stewart from Oregon, just because I had to pick somebody. I didn't pick an LSU receiver just because they have so many that they're just going to divvy it up so much.
uh,
And I mean, I don't. Do you really think any of them could be? I don't think any of the LSU receivers could be better than Smith or Ryan
yeah,
Williams, to be
no.
honest.
Mm.
Yeah. Connor, what you got? Oh, you already said Jeremiah
Yeah,
Smith.
no, I
Never
mean, I
mind.
have Jeremiah Smith for all the reasons you just said. I mean,
Yeah.
the dude's an absolute animal.
Moving on to Jim Thorpe, I'll start first because mine's pretty boring again. I have Caleb Downs from Ohio State. He's going to be a first rounder, possible top 10 pick. He's an absolute stud. For those who don't know, he was the guy at Alabama who transferred into Ohio State. He's just an absolute animal. Probably one of the best free safeties I've ever seen play. I was obviously too young to watch Tyrann Mathieu play, which shout out, he just retired.
Great career.
Crazy that he just suddenly retired on everybody. But the Saints are gonna. He probably saw the writing on the wall with the Saints. But this is a college episode. We'll do NFL next week.
Yeah,
But yeah, Caleb Downs is my pick. Nothing else to touch on it. I have other finalists, but I'm not even gonna read them because there's no point. I think Caleb Downs runs away with that.
yeah. I mean, I can't give Ohio State too much love. I can't give them two of the biggest awards in college football. I have Leonard Moore out of Notre Dame winning it this year. Shout out Jack Sheridan. He was a
Mhm.
beast as a true freshman. He was part of that stacked Notre Dame team last year with Xavier Watts, if y'all remember him. Uh, but I look, nothing against Caleb Downs. I honestly think he has a great shot at winning it too. But Leonard Moore coming off of that great season as a true freshman, I feel like the sky's the limit for him this year. I mean, they love him over there in South Bend, so it's certainly going to be a war to watch between him and Caleb Downs.
He was actually one of my finalists too.
Mm.
But moving on, Coach of the Year. I have the Arizona State coach, as that is Kenny Dillingham. For all the reasons I said, I think they do go undefeated this year. They might drop one game. I think that they win the Big 12 championship, and I think they're the top four seed in the country. Now, again, like the Florida State take, if this falls on its face, you will 100% see it again. And on the same token, if it does come to fruition, you will 100% see this clip again. So, um, my God, words are hard. Never mind. Kenny Dillingham's gonna win Coach of the Year. That's my pick. Connor, you can go.
Yeah, I also have a Big 12 coach. I have Matt Campbell, Iowa
Hmm.
State's finest. I think he's finally going to get his flowers. I mean, if you remember, Brock, I want to say like maybe 2021 or like 2019 pre-COVID, Iowa State and Kansas were the laughing stocks of the Big 12. I mean, they would play each other and they would be 1-9 or 2-7, something like that.
Hmm.
Ever since Matt Campbell came into Ames, completely flipped the program on its head. Iowa State is a very respectable program, and if they make the college football playoff this year, after losing all those guys to the draft, um, I mean, he's always going to have himself a good defense, and I think Rocco Becht can be really good again for the Cyclones. If that happens, there's no reason in the world Matt Campbell should not win Coach of the Year.
For sure. Isn't Iowa State like kind of like one of the worst statistical team like college football teams of all time?
They might be. Dude, they were
But like
god
that's what
awful.
yeah, they
Like
were
I know you remember some of those games. Like I
oh yeah.
vividly remember this. They were playing Kansas, and I'm a diehard Iowa State fan, by the way. Not diehard, but I am an Iowa State fan, and I vividly
See what I
remember
mean,
this.
guys? See what I'm dealing with? I mean, the LSU fan is a diehard. I mean,
I
he's a never
LSU
mind.
comes first, Brock. You know that.
Sure.
But they were playing Kansas, and we have less than 10 minutes here. We have about 6 minutes
We're good.
remaining in
Let me
this
just
episode. But we were
yeah.
playing. They were playing Kansas, and Kansas pulled off. Uh, they had two guys lay down in the end zone and blend in with them.
Oh yeah.
Like, and one of the
Yeah.
guys caught it. I don't even really remember how the play worked, but it was against Iowa State, and that was the lowest point for Iowa State football, I think probably ever. And then Matt Campbell comes in, and the rest is history. But, but yeah, that's all I got on Matt Campbell. Sorry,
Yeah.
in Iowa State,
Yeah. I feel like Iowa State and Kansas are both kind of on the rise.
100%. Yeah,
Kansas quarterback is for back for his like 12th year of college football. Jalen Daniels. I swear to God, I don't know how that dude keeps getting
and
eligibility.
I mean, you saw the Saints drafted Neal out of
Yeah,
Kansas, the linebacker.
I
So
really like him. I
yeah,
know not a lot of people are high on the Saints this year. Obviously, I'm not high on the Saints either, but I do really like Devin Neal.
yeah,
So the last thing we'll do real quick before we run out of time, we will be fine. Is our national champion. And my national champion and this matchup, I think, is a rematch of week one in the fake Death Valley. I think Clemson does beat LSU in the national championship, which absolutely kills me to say that out loud. Um, but I just think Clemson's an absolute juggernaut this year, with everybody coming back. I wanted to pick LSU. I really, really wanted to pick LSU, but I just Brian Kelly in the big game. I mean, it's going to come back. Obviously, he has to play a bunch of big games to get to the national championship. But I think with the top six seed is what I gave them. They'll have a couple home games, which should definitely help. But I just think Clemson is so good this year. I think Cade Klubnik is. Oh, we didn't even do the Heisman. Okay, I forgot
we're
about
gonna get
that.
back to the Heisman. We're gonna get
Yeah,
back.
okay. Yeah, I have Clemson beating LSU. I have them sweeping LSU this year, actually. But LSU still has the real Death Valley.
Yeah, I also have Clemson as much as it pains me to do. When I was filling out my bracket, I literally could not see anybody beating Clemson. I have them beating South Carolina, and then I have them beating Notre Dame, and then LSU in the championship. So it's boring, sure, but I think Clemson's going to be a force to be reckoned with this
Yeah,
year.
for sure.
And it's going to be on full display that first game against LSU. That's going to
Mhm.
be so entertaining. I cannot wait to watch that.
I think what people are not realizing is Dabo finally figured out that he can use the portal. He was like very against the portal when he finally went out and got like one of the best players in the portal from Purdue, an edge rusher. So that will lead us into perfect segue, the Heisman, which I think it is going to be a two-headed race, a two-man race. You could probably guess who those two people are. And I'll talk to my four finalists. I'll start with Jeremiah Smith. I think he'll definitely be a finalist. Sam Levitt from Arizona State. And then my top two, who I think are going to be the far and away favorites, like both of them, is Cade Klubnik from Clemson and Garrett Nussmeier from LSU. I think he's 100% going to be a finalist. He's going to have an amazing year. But with that being said, I do think that Garrett Nussmeier is going to win the Heisman this year. You really thought I was picking Cade Klubnik after
Love
picking
it.
Clemson to win
Let's go.
twice. Are you kidding me? Garrett Nussmeier, he's going to have his Heisman moment. And I think it's going to happen this year. This is the third straight LSU quarterback to win the Heisman, and or three out of the last whatever to win the Heisman in the last 5, 6 years. Even though they don't win the Natty, I think Nussmeier does get it done. I think he does win the Heisman this year.
Love it.
But Cade Klubnik is a very, very close second.
I can already see the comments because I already know we're gonna clip this and put that on TikTok. I
Oh, I
can
don't
already
care.
see the comments coming in, but I love it. Damn it, Brock.
I don't
Uh,
care. I didn't do anything good for LSU this entire video. I had
you're
to give him
right. No,
some love.
you have been very
Hmm.
even keeled. But I have Lenora Sellers, and I've always been a Lenora Sellers fan. If you watch the pod, obviously, both Brock and I really have been high on Lenora Sellers.
Hmm.
Um, Look, if he leads South Carolina to the college football playoff as a top 10 seed with wins over like teams like Alabama, I mean, or even I mean they got LSU on the
LSU,
schedule.
yeah,
If they beat LSU, look, I mean Lenora Sellers has all the tools, and I mean we saw
a
it
hundred
last
percent.
year, and with another year under his belt, I think the sky's the limit for him. And then for the finalists, I have Nuss, I have Klubnik, and then I also have Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah. I think that Sellers could be like, you know how they always do like the top four and then the fifth guy who didn't make the final. I think Sellers would be that guy.
Okay.
I just think the four guys that I have, their teams are just going to be better than South Carolina.
Yeah.
So that's why I have that. I have Levitt in there just because I think Arizona State's going 12-0. But yeah, that was our
Perfectly timed, by the way. We have like 70 seconds remaining right now on the
yeah, we're
pod.
getting
So
better at this. We're getting better at this. There will be future longer pods coming in the future. I'm not going to say anything because it's not an absolute guarantee yet. There will be no time limit, and it will not be on Zoom anymore.
and it will be in
Um,
person.
well, yeah, that's what that means.
Yeah.
But
Well, I
yeah.
mean, it could be on GoPro, but
Also, a couple things before we're done. There will possibly be a fantasy football draft vlog, me and Connor's picks. And I haven't, yeah, I'm not gonna say that. So yeah, anyway, that was it. That was our first college football pod of the season, really. Like first national one. We did the SEC ones.
yeah,
I'm so pumped for college football to be back.
gonna be great.
It's we're almost there, boys. We're almost there. I can't wait. Thank you, everybody. Come back to episode 32. We'll try and get one out again Monday. But till then, we'll see y'all.
See ya.
Peace.
Thanks for tuning in. Bye.